So I am just so excited to be able to just live life. I was just walking with my youngest granddaughter and just thanking God because, my goodness, the goodness of God, the grace of God. I was talking to a lady that I met just walking in my son's neighborhood, and her name is Nicola, and our youngest granddaughter, her name is Ella Nicola. And I was saying, hey, Nicola, because I always see her. Every time I'm at my son's home, I'm walking and I see her, and she's always on the phone. She used to live in Georgia. She was in the service and just a wonderful soul. She's here by herself. She's been here a few months and she's trying to figure things out. And she's always on the phone with friends, with family members. And I say, hey, Nicola, I love that you love to connect with family back home. But what if you decided to also do some walking? And you can actually connect with the ground, connect with your body, and connect with others all at the same time. You can do great cardio. It's good for your body, it's good for your mind, it's good for your heart, instead of sitting in a car. Like, that doesn't support what you want to do, which is connection and love for yourself and others. And she's like, you're right. I do spend a lot of time in my car, and I can do that. And oh man, that would be so good for me. And I'm just saying that if you and I think out of the box, maybe something that you are already doing, like, I'm walking, I'm spending time with our granddaughter, and I'm also listening to a great podcast. So I'm learning, I'm doing cardio. Sometimes I am doing walking meditations, and I'm also loving on my granddaughter. Like, it cannot get closer than this, right? It just cannot get closer than this. If my granddaughter got closer than this, I don't know what would happen, right? So just think about those things that you already may be doing. Like, for example, you may be doing dishes and you could be learning. And if you want to grow your spiritual life, you could be listening to the Bible, listening to great preaching. I do that a lot as I drive, right? Or it could be that you are working, and you're working, and instead of sitting down, you are actually standing up. And in some cases, like myself, you are cycling as you're working, And it could be that you get one of those treadmill desks. Like, really, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you decide to do. If you decide that, hey, and sometimes multitasking is not the best thing that we can do. It really isn't. Like, if you're trying to be present with, your significant other or your child, it may not be good for you to be looking at your phone. Like, I'm not saying multitask that way. But when you are already doing things like walking, what if you decide that you're going to do something else? Like myself, listening to this great podcast when I'm learning all these amazing things. Or like Nicola, it was just such a connection to her when Mama, my daughter-in-law, found out, like, I did not connect that, right? It's like, oh, hi. I met her, the first day I took Ella for a walk. And she's like, my name is Nicola. And, my daughter says, hey, my daughter's middle name is Nicola as well. And it was like, oh, I didn't put that together. How sad. I'm a little bit slow. But anyway, as I just talk with her, I just say, you know what, you could do this and you could do that. And also, as you are, for example, I love to read, right? I love to read, and I just love reading. But, I could be reading, and I could also be writing down, like, the things that I'm learning, right? Because I'm journaling, and I can take that content and I can just, share that with others, right? Like, we get to do certain things and multitask that bring value to the world. So I'm not sure what that may be for you, but I'm just saying, find something that you can do also productive as you go for a walk, as you sing songs to your glam daughter. find something else that you could do. And sometimes one of the things that you do is definitely enjoy the beauty, the grace that God has given to us. Stay abundantly blessed. I love you. It's your decision of what it is that you decide that you're going to focus on. And you can bring so much more into the world as you look to not just, do the one thing, but what else can you do? What else can you do? As you're driving, you can pray. As you're driving, you can listen to a podcast, to a YouTube. As you're driving, you could just be making calls and calling those family members that, you haven't spoken to in a while. You could be connecting. It's such an amazing thing to be able to be in the abundance and be in the more like I am right now. Stay abundantly blessed. I love you. But more importantly, the man upstairs, he is crazy in love with you and I. Stay blessed.